Hi guys, it's Jason Gardner, guitar teacher with Bring Music to You, the East Valley's provider of in-home music lessons. Today I'm going to give you a lesson on the three basic scale systems, is what I'd like to call them, that are used on the guitar. Okay, so these aren't literally scales. In other words, when we say a scale, say for example we're playing the notes in the key of C from C to C. That's a scale. These are more just ways of improvising on the guitar, or systems for getting around that are very scale-like. Okay. The first scale system that's the most commonly used, in my experience anyhow, on the guitar is the sometimes called the cage system, sometimes called the box system. It's basically the 5 basic scale shapes or scale boxes that don't require any stretching out of the fingers. Basically, you're going to be using typically 2 of these kind of fingerings in a row, finger 1, 3, and 4, followed by one of these where it's just finger 1 and 3, followed by then where you use 2 in a row of fingers 1, 2, and 4. Okay. So the way that scale system looks, and we're going to go ahead and post a tab of that for you also, it looks like this. Okay, so that gets you the 5 basic positions. Now you may have noticed it didn't look like I was doing any significant stretching, any significant shifting, anything like that. And I think that's why those 5 basic positions are used quite often on the guitar. Some guitarists that I learned their solos a lot as a kid would be Randy Rhoads, Kirk Hammett, George Lynch, those guys. But it seems like everybody still just gets around on those systems a lot. And of course, with each key you change to, you're still going to have the same shapes. What I just did, I did that all in the key of C. I played all the notes in the key of C between 0 and 12. Say for example I wanted to apply the same system but in the key of G. Okay, I'm going to get very similar looking fingerings, but basically what I had been doing, say for example at the 7th fret, where I did 2 of these in a row, followed by 2 of these in a row, followed by 1 of these, and then 1 of these again. I'm just going to move everything down minus 5 frets to the 2nd fret, do the same exact pattern. So basically I could take, if I'm transposing up a fifth, right? G is up a fifth from the key of C, C, D, E, F, G. Then I can take that same scale system and each position either move it down 5 frets or move it up 7 frets and find myself playing in the new key that's a fifth higher, right? So take a look at our printout that we have on that, and it'll show you how the rest of the positions transpose from the key of C into the key of G, etc. Then let's go ahead and look at what I'd say is probably the second most commonly used scale system, and it's kind of a toss-up, but the 3-note per string scale system. Again, I'm going to do it all in the key of C for you here. Okay. A lot of times the 3-note per string system is hammered on because of the convenience of doing such and getting a nice good triplet sound out of it. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. I'm going to pluck it at first. and check out the tabs for that. What you noticed is literally the 3 note per string system. There's 3 notes per string. Okay. So if I'm doing a triplet or sextuplet based rhythm and I'm doing hammer-ons, it creates for really nice accent that stays really good in rhythm. Which what I'm talking about then is doing something like this. Okay, I'll demonstrate that later on to a beat for you so that you can hear what that sounds like. And then again, the same as I told you with the 5 basic scale boxes, if you take and transpose from the key of C to the key of G, whatever shape you've done, you move either 5 frets to the left, or basically 5 frets down, or else 7 frets to the right, and you've just moved to that shape from the key of C into the key of G. So say for example, what I had done earlier in the first position, I did one of these with a stretch, because these involve stretches now, followed by 2 of these without stretches, followed by 2 of these without stretches, followed by 1 of these with a stretch again, right? And so here again, this is the key of C that I'm talking about. Okay, now if I take that and I go plus 7 frets, all of a sudden I'm in the key of G, right? So instead of starting on the first fret, I'm going to start 1 plus 7 equals 8, and now I'm in the key of G. So again, the same pattern, 1 of these with a stretch, 2 of these without a stretch, 2 of these without a stretch, followed by 1 of these with a stretch. Okay. Then lastly, the other scale system that's real commonly used amongst good improvisers, soloists, is the single string approach. Right? Can you play all the notes that belong in the key on a single string? So again, I'm going to do that for you in the key of C here. Okay. Depending on what you're doing, you're either going to play the notes straight up and down, or you might actually play like a little sequence. If you're going to play them straight up and down, I suggest figuring out a good fingering that allows you to do it fairly smoothly. Don't try to do something like that. That's just clumsy, the whole single finger thing. If you're doing something like this, more like some little motif that you're moving around in that system, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, but otherwise, figure out a good system. For example, right here I use fingers 0, finger 1, finger 3, finger 1 again at the 5th fret, finger 3, finger 4, finger 1 again at the 10th fret. Okay, I need to warm that up a little bit more for the day apparently. The shifts are a little bit challenging when you're doing the single string system. Right? The shifts meaning I was in this position, instantly I have to get to this position. You just got to warm those up. If you're going to use them a lot, whenever you're going to use them, work out the specific set of maneuvers, right? Let's say for example they're a part of a song you're working on. You get that maneuver seriously worked out. The benefit of the single string system is, of course, you get a pluck on the same string then, over and over. You don't have to worry about pick accuracy near as much as you do with the other systems. Okay, I'm going to continue demonstrating this in the key of C down the rest of the strings. B string. G string, D string, A string, and last but not the other E string. Okay, that's the single string system. Okay. Once again, the pick accuracy, that's the easiest part. The shifting, that's probably the toughest part. Okay. Definitely if you try to do it with just one finger, straight up and down the scale, straight up and down the notes, it's never going to get real fast. No matter how much you work it up, it's only going to get so fast, right? Versus if you pick a good finger and you really need to get a maneuver down, that fingering's good, you can get it pretty fast, okay? Transposing that system versus the 3 notes per string or the box system scales isn't the same. It doesn't involve the same sort of process where you go 5 frets this way or 7 frets that way. Instead, you just have to know the notes of the key that you're switching into. So say, for example, it's a good idea when you practice the single string system anyhow to say the letter names. Go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay? And so I just did the key of C. Now if I want to do the key of G, I just say to myself the note names that belong in the key of G, right? All it's going to change is every time I do an F, it's going to be an F sharp, right? So it changes my fingerings a bit. So E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. I can do something like that, where I slide my pinky up, or maybe I could even do something like this. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and continue right on up the system, right? Okay, I'm going to demonstrate a way of warming these up for you now, kind of drilling these. I think all of us need to do these kind of drills once in a while. So today we'll see how good warmed up I am at these kind of drills. And I'm going to set my little drum machine going here, which is just an old Casio keyboard, and try to play with the rhythm with each one of these scale systems. I'll just do it in the key of C for you. Just a second. 5 scale boxes, 3 notes per string now. Last but not least, I'm going to do the single string system. Okay, so you may have just now noticed what parts of each of those systems tends to look easier, what part of each of those systems tends to look and be more difficult. Each one of them has their benefits. I encourage you to learn all of them. As Joe Satriani said in a video we recently shared, it's not like you want to spend all day long just playing scales, right? But you do want to get to know them. It's liberating to know the systems, be able to get around your guitar. Okay, so I encourage you to practice those some more, and good luck. Thanks for checking us out. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.